Are you thinking about selling a home that needs some work? Hi, I'm Veronica Woods, and if you want to keep more money in your pocket when you're either buying or selling real estate, you'll want to go ahead and hit the subscribe button on this Real Estate Wisdom channel so that you will be notified first when the next video is published. In this video, I will share 3 things you should address as a seller if you want to get the highest possible price and deal with less haggling back and forth with potential buyers. Now, if you live in the Philadelphia area, you most likely own an older home. And if you haven't done any upgrades or updates in the last few years, I can tell you most certainly that a potential buyer, when they're looking at your house, most likely they're going to say that this home needs some work. And it's not really your fault. Some of it is just the preferences that a lot of the active home shoppers have right now when they're looking for properties. They're looking for, and they put a preference on move-in condition. Now, one of the major causes of stress in the home buying process is uncovering a surprise about the condition of the house at the last minute. As a seller, you have control over how many surprises are found by really taking the time to prepare your home before it goes on the market. So now let's jump right into those 3 things that I'm recommending that you address as a seller. Number 1 is to address anything that may turn off potential buyers before they even get to your door. In this day and age, the first view of your house is online through photos. Many sellers really gloss over the clutter factor, but it really makes a big difference in how your house is viewed to the public. Because when you have a lot of clutter, you're really dependent on the agents and the buyers to kind of look past the boxes and look past maybe heavy furniture in order to see the diamond in the rough that you have with your home. The other thing to think about is keeping everything neutral in terms of colors as well as decor. People aren't buying your personal swag and your style. They want to envision their style in your home. And it's something that is easy to lose sight of, especially if you take a lot of pride in your decorations. I always tell the story of I had a client who was a devout Catholic, and she had a number of, I'll call it, religious artifacts in every room in the house. And I was trying to negotiate with her just to take down just a few Jesus statues in each room so that potential buyers can really appreciate the open layout that she had in her home. The last thing I'll say about the topic of attracting potential buyers through the photos is make sure that you have a professional cleaning done. Dirt really shows up in the photos. Is almost surprising. It's really worth the investment to get a deep clean so that your house will be photo ready. Number 2 is to address any issues that may be a challenge for first-time home buyers with limited cash reserves to purchase your home. I'll tell you, the people who are likely to pay the highest for your house are these first-time home buyers. So if you can attract them, or you're on the cusp of attracting them, it may be worth the effort to do those repairs. The reality is, though, in this environment, a lot of these buyers are really strapped to come up with the down payment and the closing costs. So if you ask them to pay more money when they first move in the house to do painting and to repair flooring, that may knock them out of the running for your home. But what they can do is pay you a few more $1,000s in your asking price in order to finance it for you to do the repairs. So they can more easily pay for the repairs through their mortgage as opposed to paying out of pocket cash after they move in the house. Now, a lot of times for a seller, this translates into a higher sales price and maybe a seller's assistance. But at the end of the day, you're enabling these first-time home buyers to afford your home. Number 3 is you want to address any items that would prevent someone from getting a conventional mortgage. Now, I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination that you need a perfect house in order to get a mortgage. That is not the case. You don't even need a remodeled kitchen or remodeled bathroom. You need a functional kitchen and functional bathroom in order to get a mortgage. But if you have repairs that would only allow someone that's buying cash to buy the house, you're really limiting your pool of buyers and just making it tougher to sell your home. The things that kind of come on the mortgage ready list are kind of basics of a functional house, like the plumbing has to work, the heater has to be functional. A novice from looking up at the roof can't identify that you need a new roof. In this area in particular, another issue as far as the electrical system is knob and tube wiring. So this is a relic of an old electrical system, and a lot of older homes had them at some point, and most people over time deactivated or removed them. If a home inspector or appraiser sees knob and tube wiring, then it brings up to the question, will you be able to get home insurance? The key factor is you'll want to identify and address any of these type of issues before you put your home on the market. So you want to kind of assess, do you have anything wrong with your house right now that would prevent someone from going to the bank and getting a mortgage? It's much less stress to identify those things before you put them on the market than afterwards. Because what happens is if the appraiser identifies things that, hey, you need to fix these things in order for the buyer to get the loan, what happens is there's a rush. You got to find estimates, then you have to do the repairs. Most of the time it's in a 5 to 7 day window that you have to get these repairs done. And it's really stressful for everyone involved. And at the end of the day, if these things were discovered earlier, you would not have to jump through all these hoops in order to keep your deal alive so that your buyer can get the financing. Now, before I wrap up, I do want to cover 2 more points that's important to keep in mind when you're selling a home that needs some work done. Number 1 is to watch out for poor quality work. When you're selling a home, most likely you're going to have a home inspection done. And that home inspector is going to spend 2 to 3 hours going through your home with a fine-tooth comb. They're going to spot any shabby work that you had done, especially recently, to the home. And when they find it, they're going to now raise a level of doubt, create a lot of anxiety for everybody in the process. So if you're going to have any work done, just make sure that the work done through the selling process or right before you sell, especially, is done well. 2, it may be tempting to say you're not going to do any repairs or any preparation for your house, but keep in mind that an as-is sale is always going to be less or get less than a home that's actually prepped to sell for the highest possible dollar. And that's just the reality. If you want to leave the money on the table and just kind of market your house to more of a seasoned investor, that's okay, but that investor is going to expect to be compensated for taking on the repairs that you weren't prepared to do. So at the end of the day, you have to think about, if it's a matter of spending $1,000 to make $5,000 at the end of the day, is that a business decision that makes sense for you and your family? To learn more about what to look for when either buying or selling an older home, you may also want to check out this video that's appearing on the screen. Thanks again for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and watch out for my next video.